So good news, well sort of, the Division 2 devs just dropped a 3x XP event for the week, which sounds awesome, right? Well, here's the catch. They capped the XP at 70 million. And honestly, that's a mistake. Let's find out why.
Piece of shit wristwatch.
In today's video, we're gonna break down why this XP cap is holding the game back and what the devs need to do to give players more freedom to grind how they want. Let's get into it. We have arrived to the final chapter of the Manhunt. And by completing it, you figure out what the deal is with Keener's revival and whether he is friend or foe. So to encourage players to return, the Division 2 added an XP multiplier of 3x. There's always been a multiplier for these events, but those multipliers were typically just double XP. So this is obviously awesome. The downside, there's a cap. And it's 70 million. We actually made a video not too long ago suggesting XP events, well, like this, but here's how it should be. Uncapped. Why are they so worried about how much XP we're gaining? This game is way too mature to be micromanaging our progression like this. What exactly are we breaking by leveling up faster? If the grindhards out there want to XP farm for 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, more power to them. It's good for them, and honestly, good for the game. The XP grind is what's missing in the game. The developers have ensured that is the case. They have a tight leash on our XP. We've had XP farm caves in the past. Exploits aside, the devs saw the problem that players wanted to do a single activity over and over again to level up. So they went around and rebalanced the game. So it's basically the same XP per hour no matter what you do. So quick pause, why is XP important in this game? Why do we even care? It comes down to the watch. So once you get your watch, you want to level it to 1000 as fast as possible. That's going to get you on par with the rest of the community on builds, because these are all stats. These are your offense stats, defense, handling stats, and utility. Now, the watch itself also has a health benefit. The biggest reason why we level up our watch once we reach level 1000 is for resources, and that's the scavenging points. One watch point equals one reward that you can spend on any of these categories. And so once you have all of your nodes full, like we do here, then it's always going straight to scavenging points. This is an absolute requirement and lifesaver when it comes to progressing your character's power level, and why we create mules. And I'm not going to go all the way into that, but I do have get rich making mules videos for you. You can follow those guides by clicking on that video. The general concept is your watches are all linked across your other three characters that we call mules. Every time you level up your main character, your other character's watches are leveling up also. So you're accumulating points separately on each watch through a single effort. So ultimately, what we do with those watch points is purchase all of these resources so that we can invest them in one of the three benches: the crafting bench, the optimization bench, or the expertise bench. If you're not familiar with the expertise system, it's extremely expensive and resource intensive. So XP through a series of mechanics and benches equals more power. With all activities basically being the same XP per hour, the devs have restricted the best way to get XP through the feature of global directives. These rotate with the seasons, and each one of these gives you 25% more XP for every activity that you do. This is going to apply to the mission reward XP, for example. 125 XP is nothing to balk at. It's the system that we have. Great. In a real XP event, the gaming community would be psyched to turn on those XP modifiers, those directives, and get 125 XP by 3x, which is the event multiplier, and log in every day and grind hard to reap as many levels as they possibly can until the event ends. But the way this is structured, there's no real point in doing so because it's capped. So by turning on all 5 directives, you're just accelerating or working harder to get that cap. So just in a single ultra casual session, I've already completed 15% of this, and I got a week to take advantage of the rest. So for casual users that has limited time, this is a big boost, because with that limited time that they have to play this game, they're gonna get triple XP. It's a boost to the amount of XP they would normally get with that same allotted time. But I'm not sure those players are the ones that the game is leaking. The dedicated players turn on those directives for a reason. They need more resources so that they can power level up their characters. So to bring those players back or to get them to log in more, this is falling short. They're gonna whip through it in a day or so, and then they'll be done with it and mission not accomplished. This is an opportunity lost, an opportunity to get people to log in more, to try to bring some of those dedicated players back. Okay, but here's the real talk. This needs to be so much more because the community needs reinvigorating by the developers. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the Manhunt here, but it's not super exciting and wasn't really worth all the server hassle we had to go through in order to play it. And it is my belief that the devs are hurting, and one of the reasons why they merged the servers is because the player count has dramatically dropped ever since they announced the seasonal character structure, which they're hopefully reversing, and we're waiting for final news on that. But they need to pick up steam in the community, and one way to do that are XP multipliers. It's really easy. All the players want it. There's no real way to get it. So directives, they're great if you're looking for an additional challenge, but there's some people that aren't. There's some people that are slightly irritated by how bullet spongy the NPCs are. They're already extremely overpowered, and directives just amplify that. In lots of other games, there are XP events where it is just pure bonus. There is no downside to gaining that XP. To passively force the entire player base to put on directives in order to advance their XP gains per hour is somewhat unhealthy for the game, because the most common negative feedback we get about this game is typically around the AI, how bullet spongy they are and how many ridiculous advantages they have in compared to us. Now, we're written in as an underdog, but that has nothing to do with directives, nor does it have anything to do with XP. So if we had an actual free XP event, which it doesn't have a cap on XP, it has a time limit. If we had events like that on a periodic basis throughout the season, would encourage more players to log in and encourage longer play sessions. And I applaud them for trying something different. This is different. We haven't seen a 3x XP event ever, as far as I can remember. Just saying, hey, do more of that. Do more of those small, simple changes that you know the community is looking for. Things like XP. What do you think about this XP event? Are you fine with the limit? Does it impact how much time you invest in the game? Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Tuxedo Bandido. That's Tito Bandido.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
This was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy. Now maybe this cheapskate can afford to sign me up for that dating app I've had my eyes on.
Follow me.
I get it.